What is good? What is good? What is good? Welcome back to the channel. I hope all of y'all are well, and I'm well. So I've been getting a lot of video ideas to talk about, but I'm just go with the flow with how this video is gonna go, because it's so much to say, but basically for this video I just want to talk to you guys about your power. But first, knowing that you have your power, that you have power, activating your power, owning your power, staying true in your power, and becoming your power. But again, first you have to know that you have power. So when it comes to the butterfly, right? When it comes to transformation, it's a process you have to go through. You have to go from being the caterpillar, then you go into the cocooning stage, the cocooning phase. So you're going from one thing to another, but in between is a process. In between is the womb. In between is the uncertainty, the discomfort. In between is the planting. It's the molding, it's the shaping, it's the forming. It's the potter having its perfect work, and you're just allowing. And then after all of that is done, for the time period that it has to go through, when all of that is done, you shed. You burst out and you become something completely and totally new and different and beautiful. You become free. You become who you truly are. You're free. You have your wings and you fly. And flying is free. Flying is freedom. Flying is being one with the spirit, because the wind is the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So with your process of growing and evolving, you have to be in different phases of your cycle of becoming. You have to go through the phases of death and rebirth. You have to go through the phases of being uncomfortable, not knowing where to go, being in the dark. But it's all to shape you and mold you, to grow you, for you to become. So when it comes to following Christ, Christianity teaches to follow Christ and to know that Christ is the way. However, they don't teach you to fully become Christ. Because to know that you are a spiritual being having this physical experience, to know that it's more to you than this, to know that when you drop your body, you're not the body anymore. You are your true essence. You are your true self, and you go back to your creator. You go back to the divine. And from there you go on to a new experience. It may not be one like this, but you go to another place, and that other place is another realm, another dimension, another place where you could grow and further become, to where you could further evolve. So with the stumbling blocks and following is you never become. See, to really become Christ, you have to be a disciple, right? But what is discipleship? Discipleship is really discipline. It's discipline. Christ is crystallization. So even in Spanish, Christos is Christ. So Christ, crystal. To become Christ is to become pure. It's to become childlike. It's to become free. Become. That's the key word, is to become. So what goes with spiritual discipline? Having control over your thoughts. When you say take every thought captive, that means you are being aware of your thoughts. You don't become your thoughts, but you are aware of your thoughts. And then you have the power to meditate on certain thoughts. When you start to meditate on certain thoughts, when you start to chew on certain thoughts, then you're taking that in. You're allowing those seeds to be sprouted, to be germinated, to eventually they grow, they flourish, they take root. You know what I'm saying? So if you are chewing on thoughts that don't represent this crystallization in form, so if you're not doing what's necessary to be crystallized, changing so you can become, then you can't truly become Christ. You would just stay in the realm of just following. You're just following and never becoming. Christ wants you to become him. And this is what was taken out and suppressed by the manipulators, is to never become. Always follow. Always be a servant. Always be in this, I just gotta say it, always be in this helpless form. And never realizing, knowing, hey, it's me. It's me. Because when you have breakthroughs, and I'm not just talking about financial breakthroughs or, oh, my cousin got off drugs or something like that. I'm talking about inner breakthroughs. I'm talking about when you fighting, baby. When you're fighting your inner world, because it starts within. I'm talking about when you coming out of hell. When you coming out of the deep, dark, nasty abyss of fear, of lies, limitations, to where you elevate and go up higher within yourself, to where you're becoming the master. You are mastering things now. You're not letting things have control over you anymore. Because when Christ said you can do greater things than me, when Christ said you could cast out devils, you could do this, you could do that, you, that means you can do it. That means become like me, become me, so you can do it. Believe, trust, have faith truly in your heart. Christ said you can't enter the kingdom unless you be childlike. So that means you got to be free. You got to be open in your mind. See, when you read other texts of what Christ's teachings was, of what Mary's teachings was. So it doesn't matter that over here is Mary and over there it's another name and over here it's another name. It still represents the same thing. It's the divine feminine. It's the mother comforter. It's the presence. It's the Holy Spirit. It's the feminine. And what religion has done is suppress the feminine, but only in Christianity. But when you come out of all of that, all the religions, you can see, even in nature, that it is a mother, female, principle, aspect, presence, and it's a father, male, masculine aspect, presence. A papaya tree, you can have a male papaya tree or a female papaya tree. Isn't that crazy? Learning, let nature speak to you, talk to you. You're learning through nature. In nature is some things that replicate a vagina, the womb. Mushrooms, magic mushrooms. Some mushrooms look like a penis. But over time, even sex has been perverted And sex is not even its purest form anymore. We should not be ashamed of sex or sexuality. Know truly what sex is. Sex is a life force energy. That's why so many people love sex, have sex, and are addicted to sex. But you're tainting it though. You're not in balance, and you don't have your mind of it. You don't have the consciousness, the awareness, the wisdom of it. So you are out here abusing it and acting like a heathen, acting like a hyena. But to come back around with what I'm saying is, you have to become Christ. You have to become the master. But also you are still the student. So when you get past duality and polarity and just coming to the oneness, coming to the stillness, you will see things from a newer perspective. Because how we learn is we learn through duality. We learn through the separation. We learn through black, white, left, right, wrong, up, down. We learn like that. But in our learning, in our observations, we're building and putting together who we are, what's fit and right for us. But see, when you lack discipline, you don't ever get to that point, because you're still being the follower. And even in your following, you're still not truly following what it is that's being said to you to get you to come up higher and to become. So you stay at a certain level. Because I'm going to be honest with you. When it come to your body, when it come to your temple, if you do not have control over what you put in your body, what you put on your body, you can't begin to really become Christ, because it's discipline. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to go through it. You gotta go through it. You gotta go through the process. And people can try to teach it to you, but it's you that unlocks you. When you consciously choose to become, when you consciously choose to be free, when you consciously choose to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna believe in myself, and I'm gonna do this. So just take Rosa Parks for example. No, Harriet Tubman. She had to have a mighty faith within herself to know that she can do what she did. Anybody in our history and past that, I'm talking about beyond, we've always had faith in ourselves and belief in ourselves and power within ourselves. When you go to the Indians, the Aztecs and things, being connected to the land, being connected to the earth, knowing life in that way and not in this way, this new way. This is the new age. And this is what the Hopi people prophesied and didn't want to happen, is for us to go in this way of being inorganic to ourselves and to the earth. You got people that don't know the earth no more. We have to relearn our earth again. We have to relearn our truth again. So when you don't repent, meaning when you don't come back to the original way, which is earth, which is the land, which is self, really truly knowing who you are, knowing the real world. The real world is nature. The real world is not your Starbucks, your Subway, your McDonald's, the shopping mall. That's not the real world. The real world is not you getting up every day going to Walmart because you got to pay bills. That's not the real world. The real world is not all this advanced technology that's being pushed on you. That's not the real world. That's the artificial world trying to take over. That's the disease. That's the lie. Religion has kept our people bound and in enslavement mentally, because that's why I said the difference in following and actually becoming. When you start to become, then you have the power. You have the power to say no. You have the power to think and use your mind. You have the power to know what's inside of you. You have the power to be one with the all. You have the power to be out in nature and can sit for 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour. Do you know people are so anxious and so just rushy that they can't even sit down for 10 minutes and be silent? So you know what happens? Mental disease come over you. Mental illness. When you keep going in this way and not in that way, that is what you become. You become inorganic. You become diseased. You become sick. And then you'll need help. And who do you go to go get your help? You go to your oppressors for help. You go to these hospitals that ain't doing a damn thing for you, but doping you up on all this medication that's further making you sick, that's bringing Alzheimer's and dementia. You stuck in a dimension in your mind, and that's more than likely in the past. I've worked with those people. I've seen firsthand mental illness. I've seen firsthand of a person not having a damn mind. So you know what I did? I vowed to myself that I'm going to have my mind. And I'm out here discovering myself and discovering my mind. I'm discovering the Creator's mind. He says, seek me. Seek me is not just you just staying in the Bible. Seek me mean go on a journey. Go explore, go adventure. So this is where you get the saying, be wild and be free. Because those who are wild and free are truly living. Those who play it safe, you not living. Then you can't gain no knowledge and no real wisdom. No true life experience, because you always on the sideline and you not in this thing playing for real. You got to get out here and play for real. You got to come back home to your roots. And where's your roots? Your roots is nature. Your roots is nature. Your roots is being out in that good old sun. Hearing them birds. Feeling that wind. Oh, because you powerful then. Look at Pocahontas. Those people were connected. They were connected. They were connected to the trees. They were connected to their land. They were connected. So much to where they knew that that tree was alive. It's not just, oh, it's a tree. Because that's the corrupted perspective that we've been taught. That's a corrupt psyche that we have been taught to think and look at things, and even how we commune with spirit, how we commune with our Creator. We look at it in this rigid viewpoint that's false. And we believe that so much that we think that this is, oh, that's a fantasy. Oh, that's not real. Nah. And see, like I tell y'all, for me, when I started my journey, my whole journey, I first left my mother's house right after high school. And if I was more sharp in my knowing, in my mind, if I would have came off meat, if I would have spent more time in nature. See, this is why people will put on you, oh, you rebellious, oh, you this, you that. See, you gotta have, you first of all, you gotta know within yourself what's true. You got to follow your heart. You got to believe what's right and what you know to be true. What you deeply feel, what's calling you, what you know is like something this is something to this, because everybody gonna tell you something different. Everybody gonna try and tell you to go this way and go that way, but you gotta go your way. You gotta go where the divine is pulling you. You gotta go with what you hearing, what you feel, what's being presented to you, because that's the guidance. So when I first left my mother's house and I started to live on my own, I started to hear, because I didn't have all of that. And then it was okay, regardless of if anybody say you crazy, you out here living whatever, or just whatever, all these labels people try and put on you. Oh, you a this, you a hippie now, you a gypsy now, you a this, you a that. You got to block all that shit out, because at the end of the day, you are on a journey while they are sitting on the sidelines still going in these mundane ass circles, not on nothing. And that's not to be arrogant, that's not to be none of that, but that's just real talk. So even when Christ say, if you can't give up this and give up that for my name's sake, that's real sacrifice. What can you give up to really walk this path, to really go on a journey? You got to leave people behind, because you are being called and you're answering the call. That's where it's many are called, few are chosen. You got to answer the call. Everybody don't get called out their family. It's always about one person. But if you don't answer that call and go out on faith, you are going to be left behind and you're going to miss out. You got to understand this on a deeper level. When Abraham just got up and left with his family, it was just like, okay, we got to leave all this shit behind. We got to go out on faith. We got to go. There is no planning. Oh, I got to do this first. I got to do that first. I got to call in on my job. I got to make a plan. I got to do this. I got to do that. Even with traveling, me and my family, we just go. We just go because we so used to being led in that way. It's no more thinking and planning. Like when you have a 9-to-5 structured lifestyle, I'm going to just put it that way. When you still in the matrix and in the system. No offense to y'all that's still in it, but just hear me out. When you are so in your left brain thinking like that, and you still in that mental program like that, you are going your own way and not allowing the Most High, great divine spirit to really guide you. And then you confuse your own guidance in that way with the guidance of the divine. You think that the real guidance of the divine is you going in your own way, and that's not so. That's not always the case with some people. And for most people that get called crazy, they're the ones who actually is hearing, seeing, believing, got the faith, all of that. But you got to have the toughness and the knowingness, and you got to stand in your power. You got to stand in knowing that this is it, this is right for me, regardless of how y'all think and how y'all feel about it. And if I get cut off, or if I got to cut y'all off, that's just what it is. For my peace. For my peace, and for me to keep flying and continuing and becoming. Regardless of what I go through, I'm going to keep fighting this good fight of faith until I get to that promised land. But it's a fight. It's not always easy. Nah, even my life. Even what I go through. Even what I've been through. What I've been through? Oh, baby. Oh. A lot of people would have gave up and would have quit and would have went back into that world, into that reality, into that system, into that mindset. But we come from warriors. We have that warrior spirit where we keep going and we keep fighting. You got to reactivate that. You got to reactivate that. We have some great and powerful ancestors, great and powerful people in you got to know your lineage, where you come from. And the further you walk this thing out, the further you stay connected, the further you commune in nature, things are going to reveal to you in a crazy way, to where you're going to just know. You're going to have a dream. You're going to start seeing. Those gifts are going to start activating. I'm getting chills right now. This is what I'm saying. This is the awakening that they want to stop. This is the awakening that they want to call evil. This is the awakening that they want to suppress. You got to bust out and break out of this religion, of these rigid lies, of this rigid way of thinking and being. Tap back into your childlike spirit. Watch some of these Disney movies and hear the message. Stop looking at it as just a cartoon and just, oh, fairies, they're flying. No, you got to see things in a whole new way. But in order to really see things in a whole new way, you do have to detox. You do have to cleanse. You have to pour out yourself. You have to get your temple right and in order, so you can start to get clear. So I'm going to just say it. When it comes to a lot of religious folks, when it comes to people that's still in the church, those people don't have spiritual discipline. Even in the Hebrew Israelite awakening and all in that. And I didn't gone through and been through that, but it's the same thing as Christianity, damn near. It's still religion. It's not where you know the religion, but you also know the spiritual, and you can balance the two. And you can still be led and guided and be free, but also still have that discipline. Also still have that structure and those laws still within you. You know what I'm saying? But when you're not disciplining your being of being aware, being trained, letting that inner guidance train you. Why you want to stop eating that meat? You need to take a break from that. Stop it. Don't get that. Don't get that cupcake. Don't pick that Snickers bar up. Stop drinking that pop. When you start to hear that voice, you need to call off work. Do you have them thoughts, man, I'm ready to quit my job? Then you hear a voice, do it. Why don't you do it? You gotta listen, you gotta hear, you gotta be obedient. You gotta be obedient. You gotta go against the grain, baby. You gotta be uncomfortable. You know, I said one time when I was younger, I was like, man, could I ever stop eating chicken? Fast forward, I'm at a place where I don't have to eat meat. I don't desire meat. Meat stinks to me now. When I smell it, it's not pleasing to me. It's not pleasing to my temple. It's not pleasing to the God. That sacrifice, that's not good for me. Give me some kale. Give me some spinach. Give me some chickpeas. Give me some quinoa. That's good to me. Water, tea, herbs. That's good to me. That's what I like. Give me a tincture. Give me some fresh air and I'll be good. Give me some nuts and I'll be good. I don't need all that heavy stuff no more because I have become light. I'm crystallizing. When you heavy and you're dense, you cannot hear. And that's how the sin come upon you, because you not following your inner guidance. You not following the right way of what's being told to you. So now you're submerging yourself in darkness to where you get deeper and deeper and further in it. You allow your flesh to take over because you're no longer in your God. You're no longer in your spirit. You're no longer hearing spirit. So you get so filled with the flesh to where you become gluttonous, to where you become obese, to where you die. You get all this diseases on you, all this sickness on you, all this illness on you, because you don't want to do right. When you come into an understanding and a knowing that that chicken over there has life force energy inside of it. We have karma. It's a show on Netflix called Zoo. I didn't watch the whole thing. I think I watched one episode of it. I was just led to it one time. I'm just like, what is this about? I watched one episode of it. And what I got from it just what I got from it was, you know, a guy said in the show, he said, because the animal, what that show was about basically was, like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing, but just to kind of summarize it from what I picked up from it is, these animals just start turning on the humans and start killing them and stuff, eating them, whatever. And a guy said, do you think that this is the animals' revenge now on us for how we have treated them? And it's like, that's why I'm saying, when you become aware and conscious again, because you've always been aware and conscious, but you fell asleep. You have sunken so low and so deep into the density of the reality, into the density of your experiences, into the density and the depths, into the hell of being in fear, this low vibration. That's why you got to get pulled up. You got to get saved. You got to have a savior to pull you out of your shit, to pull you out of that darkness. Because you got vines and roots on you that keep trying to pull you down. You got these lower archons, these demons that's latched and attached to you energetically and spiritually because of what you have been subjecting yourself to. That's where the discipline come in at, to clean you up, to bring you back up high, to bring you back up into Eden, to bring you back up into heaven, into the higher realms of thought and feeling, of vibration. Understand? Keep up with me. Okay, so in the show Zoo, right, he said, what if this is the animals now having revenge? And it's like, for real, when you see a lion, when you see a horse, when you see a giraffe, why would you want to eat that? When you see them with new eyes, you know, out here in Hawaii, they had the chickens just run around, they run free. And they're intelligent to a certain extent. They're smart, you know what I'm saying? They have some type of understanding. They have a little something. They don't have all what we have, but you know, it has feelings. And so when you have reverence to animals in that way, you don't want to eat them. And then when it comes to fish, once you get so sensitive in your senses, fish stinks so bad. It stinks so bad. Even when you eat fish, when you eliminate it out of your body, it stinks. It stinks. You know? And when you study animals, the gorillas, all them, what do they eat? They eat green. They eat the earth. They eat plants, bananas. You know what I'm saying? Duh. So why are we eating animals? Why are we eating up the animals? Why are we going against ourselves? Why are we going against nature? Why do we feel more secure and comfortable with going to get a can of formula than breastfeeding our children when we have breasts to breastfeed our children? You know what I'm saying? Just the backwards way of thinking that we have been conditioned to. We have been trained to think. And then we put excuses on top of it. Oh, well, this and oh, well, that and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. No, it's just discipline. You just lack discipline. You lack full understanding. Because, look, check this out. At the end of the day, once you do something and it works for you, then only you can have that experience of giving your opinion and giving a strong opinion, or being in a certain type of knowing or believing because you've done it. If you a person that hasn't ever done anything to know for yourself something, then you're going to always continue to go off what somebody else say and not ever know for yourself if something is good and right for you, to where you can help somebody else because you have went through that experience and you weren't afraid. When you are in resistance, chaos and all type of stuff come upon you. That's why Christ always say, fear not, fear not, fear not, have no fear. The Lord say, have no fear. The Most High say, have no fear. Have no fear. With me being out in the field, how me and my family we have really seen how Christians run, Mormons run, all these religions. These people are in fear. They're in fear. And I know it firsthand because I've been around people, and not going into their churches, but just being at a place where I can speak up, being at a place where I can talk to anybody, because I have built that courage up, that confidence up within me, because my knowing is growing, and I'm being strong in who I'm becoming. I'm aware. I'm an observer in what the divine is doing with me. I'm aware of the inner work. You grow from the inside out. Within. We have it within. But you got to tap in. You got to unlock. And that's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's what I'm telling y'all. And I'm telling y'all you can do it. And I'm telling y'all, how to come back into that obedience and that awareness and that understanding. The real life. You know, being the example. I told y'all I had a natural birth. My last child, I delivered a son. Me and my husband, we delivered our son out in nature. We didn't record it because it just happened so fast, and I was just in the moment. I was in the experience. I was in the birthing realm to where I didn't care about it being recorded, because I don't have to record it. I don't have to show y'all the real raw like that. I don't. Because at the end of the day, still, my life is hidden in the Creator. My life is hidden because I'm really in the experience. I'm really in the real world. I don't have to be out here like everybody else showing you every damn thing that I'm doing. And a lot of people, they already doing it anyway. They already showing you a new way, the original way, the ancient way. We birthed our son. It was a surprise birth. I didn't know what I was having. I didn't know how far along I was. I was just going through the experience. No doctor, nothing. And we delivered our son out in nature. Raw birth, no pills, no nothing. No medication, nothing. Unassisted, just me and him. And we knew what to do. We ain't watched no videos, nothing. We just already had what we needed to clean up and to all that. Lotus birth, I kept the placenta connected to him. All that stuff, all on our own. And that boy is so smart and he's so strong. All my kids. Because we don't subject ourselves to the lie anymore. We're not going to the hospital. I never liked the hospital anyway. Though I have experience and knowledge in the medical field, I don't subject myself to that or my children to that. Hospitals, shots, checkups. No, I'm the doctor. Me and my husband, we're the doctor. We're the physicians. And if we need any type of help or anything like that, we have the knowledge and wisdom to know the right people to go to. The real people to go to. Not this system. You got to come out this beast system. You got to be self-sufficient, and you got to have your mind to really navigate through this experience in a different way. That's why so many people are so afraid to leave their jobs and stuff like that, because you keep subjecting yourself to one way of thinking and doing things. You know what I'm saying? You got to open and expand your mind. You got to, come on, you got to tap in. It's so much. But, you know, eventually you can get there, you know, if you allow a seed to spark. Like, see, when I make these videos, I'm planting seeds. I'm planting seeds for y'all. For one day, y'all can have the courage. For one day, y'all can have the boldness. For one day, y'all can have the faith. For one day, y'all can have the heart. For one day, y'all can have the confidence to do it. For y'all to start believing and trusting. And knowing that you ain't got nothing to worry about. When you get to that point, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you go through. So yeah, man, become. Get your power and your strength back. Become. And I'm already going about 40 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Y'all already know I'm here for y'all. I'm gonna set up some things further in the future for y'all. Right now, this is real. This is just real and raw. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a website or nothing right now for y'all to like really do things more professionally with me right now, because I got a lot of things going on and all like that. That's just a sacrifice I would have to make for you guys. But this is a part of my sacrifices when I do these videos. So if you guys want to sew into me, I leave my Cash App down below, my PayPal down below. I connect with you guys. I talk to you guys back through the comments, or if you write me on Instagram or whatever. But if you want a personal session with me, if you want to talk to me privately on the phone or whatever, we can set that up. But I don't have a website. I don't have none of that right now. But we can work on that if you guys want me to be of service to you in that way, because I can. But I love y'all. Stay peace, stay blessed, stay balanced, stay aware. You are loved. Okay? You are loved. Answer the call. Answer the call, baby. And get your butt out in nature. Eat right, live right, do right. Change, grow, become, evolve, express, love who you are, and keep journeying, keep soaring, keep believing, keep trusting, keep having faith, keep being bold and fierce. You got this. Peace.